So finally, after years, NCERT has been updated, and it is a big change for class 9 students because now you won't be able to borrow books from your seniors. So students, today in this video we will talk entirely about the change of syllabus pattern for particularly SST in class 9th. Okay, so you guys are aware about the circular being the draft being circulated all over throughout, that the class 9 syllabus has been entirely changed for class 9 students. What is the big change? I am going to tell you in this video, and this video will be particularly for the change in SST. NEP, that is National Education Policy, that was made in the year 2020, has promised that the curriculum will be changed according to this policy, in which they focused upon the needs, the developmental needs and the interest of the students in this generation particularly, and as per that, okay, as per that the changes are being made. However, when I went through all the copies of the changed pattern, right, I went through the syllabus of class 6, 7th, 8th, which was changed last year. I found out that it is more Indianized now. So when we talk about NCERT going through long years, it has a Western culture touch in that. However, now they are trying to make it more Indianized, which is quite benefited for us only. Right? So class 9 students, the syllabus changed. We will talk about what SST particularly. The syllabus has been divided into 3 parts. Part 1 deals with your language subjects, part 2 deals with math, science and SST, and the last one that deals with your vocational training, vocational skills that are needed. Right? So this is the first page of the draft, which you guys also can see on the website of NCERT or on the website of CBSE. We are going straight forward to the change in syllabus pattern of SST particularly. So it is a long document. You can also go through if you are curious about maths and science. However, the teachers are bringing the respective videos for maths and science also. Okay, so on the page number 71, it talks about SST. You know, one very good thing that you will hear and be happy is that the number of chapters has been reduced. It doesn't mean the syllabus is being reduced, by the way. It just means it is now more structure. So earlier in class 9th, pay attention, earlier in class 9th, there were total chapters which were 20. However, in COVID time, what I can say, among this 20 chapters, some part was omitted, half part was omitted, one of the chapter was coming only in internal assessment, etc., etc. Keeping all that in mind, now the chapters are being reduced to 16 in number. Okay, earlier you had different books for history, okay, then you have a separate book for geography, fine, a separate book for political science or what we call as civics, and then for economics. So this was the 4 books. Now pay attention, the books will be in part 1 and part 2. The books will be in part 1 and part 2. By this I don't mean that, I do not mean that only 2 of these sections will be there. No, it will deal entirely with the topics of history, geography, civics and economics. But now the pattern is slightly changed. See here, this is part 1 grade 9th. Okay, part 1 grade 9th, which contains 9 chapters. How many chapters? 9 chapters. The chapter 1 will be understanding social science. Right, here in this chapter you will be told the entire relevance of studying social science. Why do we study history? The question that is like always coming in your mind, that the people did something and why we are studying. So history, society, environment, economy, political science, all that, the basics will be included in this chapter. Okay, the second chapter is shaping of earth surface. Now in class 9 you are having 2 chapters. One is India size and location. In that India size and location, when I used to teach, I particularly picked these topics too. If you remember in class 7, see, there is a pattern. Class 7th and class 9 books will be, the content will be similar as class 9th and class 11th syllabus will be similar. When you will see this year in maths, some of the topics are being added like AP, GP, etc., which you will further study in class 11th, so 10th also, but there are certain topics in class 9 books which you are going to study in class 11th. right? So there is a connectivity, a bridge of the classes here. Similarly, you studied these topics in class 7th about the erosion, weathering, landforms made by erosion, weathering, right? This chapter is particularly my favorite one, where we talk about theory of plate tectonics, interior of the earth, role of weathering and erosion, landforms and disasters. And now in class 9 it will be more detailed, what I can understand, right? Next chapter is, see, third chapter will be atmosphere and climate. So it will not be that easy chapter you studied in class 7th. However, it deals with structure and composition, elements of weather and climate, season of India and monsoon, climate change, flood, carbon footprints, etc. Okay, fourth chapter will be early humans and beginning of civilization. So up till now the 3 chapters were from geography perspective. Now we are moving to history. But in history, like when you see the class 9th old books, you will see that the chapters are from world history, French Revolution, Russian Revolution, Nazism. And all the time when I was teaching, every time students were asking, ma'am, why are we only studying world history in class 9? So this time they have made this change. We will study history with a different timeline. You will start from the beginning of human civilization, how early humans came, right? What was the lifestyles of early human, etc. You will here study about the archaeological ages, out human ancestors, Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, Chalcolithic, and many more. So all these ages will be in this chapter. Not only the civilization of India, will connect it with the world also, like Egypt, Mesopotamia, etc. Okay, so here is the next chapter, history. Then 5th chapter, state and society. Again, pay attention, we are moving ahead. After all these, up till iron, like up to copper age, then we'll move to iron age, which is Vedic age, right? We will talk about geography, their text, rituals, political institutions, administration of the great empires later on formed, right? Traders, merchants, etc. So 2 chapters from history in the same book. Now the next chapter, that is chapter number 6, democracy. Now here's civics. You will study about the roots of democracy, challenges, democratic system in the world. Like in class 9th old book, you had a chapter democracy, right? The meaning in democracy. Similarly, the chapter is about election system. Political system chapter you had earlier in class 9 also. Now here is the chapter renamed as elections, right? Next is building blocks in economics. See the trend. We started with geography, then came to what? History. Then we came to civics, political order, democracy, elections. Now we are moving to economics, building blocks in economics. This is the first time you will be studying economics, so only the basics are being there. Okay, so here it deals with scarcity of resources, what to produce, how to produce, whom to produce, different between market, central plant and mixed economic system and welfare economy. However, what I can understand is that this time economics is far better than what you had last year, up till last year. Okay, so more detailed one. 9th chapter is the price puzzle, what drives the market. It's also about the market related thing, that means economics. So this is how they have divided the chapters. There were 9 chapters in number in part 1 book. Now the book is part 2. Okay, we'll see the first chapter, that is oceans and life, geography. Now we are moving ahead with geography. So part 1 and part 2 is made in the way that when a teacher starts teaching you part 1, they'll entirely cover part 1 up till your half yearly exams. That means 9 chapters, what I can judge, right? And in the next part you will be studying the second book. So now in the part 1 all the chapters are very nicely mixed. That will be your basic, and this will be upgraded book with oceans and life as the first chapters. This chapter is really important, where we will talk about ocean, water, waves, tides and currents. Same thing you studied in class 7, but now it will be more content. Okay, next chapter is life on earth, again from geography. Then resistance and resilience. So this is from the period in history from 1000 CE, that means AD, to 1700 AD, or CE what I call, right? So basically this is medieval history you are studying. Here you are studying what, bacha? Medieval history. So let me tell you the pattern. In class 6 previously in class 6 you were studying only ancient history. However, in the new books also the pattern is similar. In class 7th you study medieval history, that means the same period of this, Delhi Sultans, Mughal, etc. In the 8th class you studied modern history, the freedom struggle, the coming of Indian National Congress, revolt of 1857, etc., etc. Now in class 9th, what they are doing, they are merging everything, ancient, medieval and modern. Like in this chapter, you will study about the Bhakti tradition, forts and fortification, Indian economy of that time, art, architecture and literature of that time. Okay. Be prepared, it is going to be a challenge. Now 4th is India and the world. See now how they are connecting the links. It's not about the simple study now. It's comprehensive, it's analytical, it's more competency based of learning this year. So trade and commerce with Mesopotamia, Greece, Roman Empire, China, Southeast Asia, right? Indian knowledge about medicine, mathematics, astronomy, religion, etc. Now what I said in the beginning of this session was that this time, right, this time it will be more Indianized books, right? And the next chapter is 5th chapter about authority. So it is from politics, but see the story, the roots of authority in Kautil and Shukraniti, Danda, relationship with Nyaya and Bala, the types of Nyaya and Bala. So basically they are telling how our Indian constitution has its roots from the ancient political books written during the Mauryan, Gupta's time, etc. So this is how they'll talk about constitution, status of justice, security since ancient times and many more things. That's very good. Next chapter, that is number 6 chapter, from ideas to startup, and this is in economics about entrepreneurship, right? So what we were asking again and again, now ma'am, that the syllabus we have right now, how does it helps in future? It has no links with future. Now it is future oriented books, what I can feel. So they are teaching you what is necessary, etc., about MSME, about the ecosystem, economic ecosystem in India, how to set up the business. I hope that when I see the book, I am also happy as I am right now, because I'm expecting a lot from NCERT. Next is about 7, that is smart ways to manage your finances. Wow, that's great. Smart ways to manage your finances. Relevance of personal financial management in daily life, inflation and its impact. Very good. Simple versus compound interest rate, budgeting, risk and insurance, personal income tax. Why? This was the need of the hour according to the generation growing right now, because I have seen so many students so much concentrated or clear about their career in class 9. When we were in class 9, we were so like blank in our mind what we are going to do in future. So many students started their small businesses, and what I can say, this social media has made you guys more active. So the change in the exam pattern, the change in the books was need of our. I hope that by this video you have a clear-cut vision that what is going to be changed in class 9. Okay, so don't think to borrow the books from your seniors, because it's entirely changed. Hope you are going to get your new books super soon, and as soon as the books come, we are going to start our curriculum on the same platform, that is Diksha Vedantu class 10. But what I want to tell you is that, do you know this relevance of YouTube channel? Last year we worked very hard because it was the starting of our YouTube channel, and the love student showered at that time made us to reach 10K. This year we are expecting more from both sides, from us working more hard and from you leading to the growth of channel. Particularly, one more thing I want to share with you, class 9th. Leave your class 9 preparation from us. For the students who are feeling that there is a hindrance in your studying because the lectures are not entirely in English, that problem is sorted in this platform. because we come live, we make lectures one shots, we make rapid revisions, we make shorts entirely in English language, and this is going to be helpful for you because you have to write your exams in English. So whoever feels that there is a problem of language around everywhere, then your problem is sorted on this channel. You just need to do one thing: subscribe it right now, share with your friends so that they can also take the help. Okay, so this is all about. Meet you soon in the next lecture. Do not forget that SST syllabus for class 9th is entirely changed.